Well, I've been saying it for a few hours now, and I'm still not really used to saying it, but my wife and I... My wife and I would like to thank you all for being a part of our day. And this really has been the best day of my life. We once talked of getting married abroad and how amazing that would be, but it was really important for us to have you all be a part of our day and to share our day with everyone here in this room, and I'm very glad that we did that. It means that we get to celebrate the next chapter of our lives with all of our favourite people. We're all here because I proposed to Hannah eventually, and I did that in a hot tub at a spa, which sounded like a romantic and relaxing plan. But I didn't really think the finer details through because I was wearing swim shorts with no pockets, with nowhere to hide a ring. And then I went to get down on one knee, I realised that I'd be entirely underwater. But luckily I seemed to play it all off, and she said yes. And seeing as you've been asking me for years when I was going to ask you to marry me, and even at one point threatened me to propose to me, I'd have been very surprised if you didn't. After I asked Hannah to marry me, I was very enthusiastic to start wedding planning. I had lots of ideas, but it turned out that I think Hannah had already been planning for today for the last 8 years before I even asked her. And as a result, Hannah had a master plan and has organised 99.9% of today.
Well done.
And I think doing that alongside running her own business and being a mum is just superhuman. Everything's been really organised, looks amazing, so well done and thank you. Now, I'm not much of a public speaker, and I'm not really much of a speaker at all. I'm not really a man of many words, and some of you might be surprised to hear me, this usually reserved, kind of grumpy-looking guy, smiling or talking at all. But some of you would have seen a different side to me, and some of you might see that later if I do too many toasts and drinking this. So I'll try and keep them short and simple. But I do have a few thank yous to get through, and I'll start with Hannah's parents. Now, Hannah is lucky to have 4 amazing, loving parents in her life. I'd like to thank them for raising such an amazing woman and for their love and support, not just to her, and with the build-up to this wedding, but also for how amazing you have been with me, showing love and welcoming me into your family. I can only repay this to you by promising you to always love and care for your amazing daughter too. If we can show appreciation and all raise a glass to family. I have a few groomsmen to mention. We have Jack, who I've watched grow into a man over the years and is now officially my brother-in-law.
Never mind.
I will continue to help and support you as a brother and continue to call you out when I need to.
That'll be a lot.
We have Arlo, my godson, and Rocco, Hannah's cousin, who have done an amazing job of being the security guards of Charlie and the Rings. And then I have 2 best men. Sam, who I really hated when I was younger, but for taking the mick out of my gold Peugeot with green neons, my Burberry seat covers and my disco ball in the back window. But then I realised he had a point, and now I love him like family. So thank you to Sam for all your support on the build-up to today and for arranging my stag do. And we have Nick, who I actually met a little later in life, but who has really been there for me through the roller coaster of my life before meeting Hannah. And has even taken notes along the way for the book that he always says that I should write with all the mad stuff that's happened to me. But I'm sure he's probably pleased that we can now finish that book, as it should be, with my own happy ever after. And of course we have Charlie. I've been a part of Charlie's life for most of his life. I'm so proud of the young man he's growing into, and I'm so proud to be a part of that. He makes me laugh and amazes me every day, and today is no exception. He's done a great job today with the rings, and if we could all raise a glass and give a cheers to Charlie. A big thanks to the bridesmaids for all they have done for today, and for Hannah's home hen do, which sounded like a great night. And also the girls that arranged Hannah's hen do in Portugal. which sounded nothing short of a scene from the Hangover film, even with most of them coming back with tattoos and making my stag do sound incredibly tame. But it was great for her to have some fun and let her hair down. So glasses up again, please, to hens and bridesmaids. There is someone who seemed to adore Hannah almost as much as I do. And she told me she was going to buy a hat for the wedding after the first time that they met. And that someone is my mum. And sadly, she cannot be here today. I honestly think today could have been one of the happiest, proudest days of her life. And I hope in some weird, magical way she can see all of this and is smiling down at how happy her son is now. My grandparents also adored Hannah. They loved her kind, caring ways and how she could always make them smile and laugh. They were one of the many, many, many people that constantly asked me when I would ever propose, and they were both delighted when I finally did. And we're excited to be here, but sadly now they cannot. There are two people that I wish I had the chance to meet and that Hannah talks about often, and that is her granddad Charlie and Nan Barbara. Part of me hopes that they can all see this, so can we raise a glass to absent family? Now the easy bit. Now the most important person to talk about today, and the most beautiful person in the room, and in my life, the most important and beautiful person in every room. My stunning wife, Mrs. S. You get the link there, do you? I still can't believe my luck. We met with a cheesy, our eyes met across the room, which wasn't glamorous as the room was our cousin's kitchen and I was making a cup of tea or doing the dishes, but we literally didn't even speak to each other and there was an instant spark in that moment. And a little while later when we got talking, it became apparent that we both felt it. I guess it was like our own love at first sight. It was so obvious very early on that we were meant to be together. And now, 9.5 years later, I still wake up in the morning, or when I get home from work, or I'll just sit at home, and I'll look over at Hannah with the same amazing feeling, just wondering how I got so lucky to have this kind, caring, funny, absolutely beautiful. That's all right. Sound effects. Yeah, wondering how I got so lucky to have this kind, caring, funny, absolutely beautiful, albeit slightly crazy woman in my life. And I have no doubt I will spend the rest of my life feeling even more amazed that now you are my wife. Hannah loves me for who I am. And I love you for who you are. We're best friends, we're soulmates, we're a team, we're family, and now we're husband and wife. Sometimes I think you need a medal for putting up with me, mostly for putting up with my snoring. Even though you film the snoring and send it to everybody on Snapchat. But you seem happy enough or mad enough to settle for a ring instead. But thank you, Hannah. Thank you for being you and becoming my wife. And I can't think of anything better or anything that could possibly make me any happier than spending the rest of my life with you. So can we please all raise a glass to the love of my life, my beautiful wife, Mrs. Sampson.
Mrs. Sampson. Stop shaking now, mate.
Yeah. And I'll hand you over to Sam, best man.